It is Thursday, July 9th, 2026, and this is The High Road, Logistics and Leadership. I'm Elena Rossi, and I'm the one who reads the fine print so you don't have to.
This is Dan Miller.
I'm Jules Sterling.
And I'm Buck Reynolds. We have a great show for you today.
Yesterday, we were tracking that brutal energy crisis in the Middle East and the USMCA sunset chaos, which honestly felt like the industry was holding its breath. Actually, today, we're shifting gears to some record-breaking cargo surges and a massive rail shakeup.
Look, it's a busy one, bottom line. We're looking at the Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern merger moving into the red zone, and Target trying to reinvent itself yet again.
Right. And don't forget the defense budget hitting $1.5 trillion. Well, that's going to move a lot of flatbed freight, okay?
And I'll be weighing in on these new DEF software updates. Now, here's the deal. They might actually stop stranding us on the side of the road. Let's get into it.
Let's kick things off with corporate survival, right? Target is officially trimming the fat, cutting roles in their strategy team to lead out for this $6 billion turnaround.
I mean, they're sort of admitting they can't be everything to everyone anymore, right? Michael Fidelki is moving the chips toward category specialization. Home, baby, beauty, to get that magic back.
Well, if I may, it's about liability and efficiency. They're putting $5 billion into stores and AI for 2026. But the real story is FedEx, actually.
Oh, you mean the supply chain sale?
Exactly. Selling that unit to CMA CGM for $1.4 billion, that's a clean break. Raj Subramaniam is essentially unbundling the business to focus on high-margin data centers and healthcare.
The thing is, when these giants start unbundling, it usually means the little guys at the warehouse level start feeling the squeeze on those managed square feet.
Right. But for my retail clients, it's about who actually owns the relationship now. Siva Logistics just tripled their footprint in North America with this one deal. That's a huge shift in the power dynamic.
It's like a roster trade mid-season. FedEx wants to be lean and mean, while CMA CGM is trying to build a global powerhouse.
And they better hope the integration isn't a catastrophe. Diverting 10,000 employees is a risk management nightmare. I mean, the operational friction alone, it's a lot to manage. Speaking of building powerhouses, the Great Connection merger between Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern just hit a major milestone, actually.
Right. The $85 billion play. UP and NS just dumped a ton of supplemental data on the Surface Transportation Board this week to fix those terminal hub concerns.
Here's the play with Jim Vena. He's out there in Omaha saying this isn't a bailout, it's a redesign. He wants a 50,000-mile network spanning 43 states.
But Mark George over at Norfolk Southern is managing some serious volume surges right now, right? He's arguing this merger breaks an artificial boundary that's frozen rail growth for 20 years.
It's a transcontinental chess move, bottom line. If they pull this off, they're moving freight from the Atlantic to the Pacific on one set of tracks without a handoff.
But is it safe? We're seeing record volumes, up 8.7% in the week of July 4th, and the infrastructure is already, it's under stress.
My thing is, I've seen what happens when these networks get too big to handle. You get one derailment or a crew shortage in Ohio, and the whole system from California to Carolina goes into a tailspin.
Well, that's why they're pushing the digital twin technology, right? To predict those failures before they happen. But I agree, the human element is being stretched thin here.
Look, shippers are voting with their wallets. Trucking costs are up, and if the rails can offer a seamless cross-country lane, they're going to win that volume every time.
Actually, the STB is still the referee here, you see? They aren't just going to rubber stamp an $85 billion monopoly without some serious concessions on service reliability.
Hey, before we move on to the defense surge, a quick note from our sponsor. Strategic logistics requires world-class engineering.
Right. And this show is powered by The Stack, developed by Eric Christensen at Neural Network Media. Support the architect behind the code, okay?
You can visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Neural Network Media for a free trial. And you'll get access to our daily briefing PDF, actually. It's a great resource.
Bottom line, support the tech that moves the talk. Now, let's get back to this $1.5 trillion budget bomb.
So the Department of War is asking for $1.5 trillion for FY 2027? Okay, that is a 50% jump over previous levels.
And 80% of that increase is for procurement. I mean, they are buying things. Weapons, AI hardware, the Golden Dome missile defense system.
It's the arsenal of freedom play, right? For the flatbed market, this is a championship-winning drive. Moving munitions and heavy weaponry isn't efficient. It's specialized and expensive.
The thing is, these missiles are made in one state, the launchers in another, and the data centers on a third military base. That's a lot of specialized hauls.
And it's high-risk cargo, you see. You aren't just hiring any owner-operator to move vanadium or lithium batteries for the new defense grid. The insurance premiums are, they're astronomical.
Look, Maersk is already launching dedicated networks for these hazardous materials. They see the writing on the wall. The consumer market might be soft, but the Department of War is a whale of a customer.
Right. And we're seeing this front-loading of imports, too. Shippers are racing to beat the July 24th tariff expiration. July projections are hitting 2.47 million TEUs.
It's a tariff cliff, actually. Everyone is trying to get their Chinese manufacturing into the U.S. before the August hikes of 25% kick in. It's creating a massive bottleneck at the ports.
Imagine a final huddle. All players launch long passes toward goal lines as time expires regarding 12-2 duties.
And all those containers gotta go somewhere. The Texas ports, Houston, Galveston, they're expanding like crazy just to handle the overflow from the West Coast.
We also have to talk about the safety squeeze, actually. Operation Safe Driver Week starts this Sunday, and the focus is on reckless and dangerous driving, specifically.
Right. And they're not just looking for speeding this year, right? They're targeting aggressive lane changes and distracted driving. Well, and using AI cameras to prove it.
That's what gets me. Now they want telematics data? Hard-braking logs during a roadside stop to justify a reckless citation? That's overreaching. I mean, the thing is, where does it stop?
Actually, the Motor Carrier Safety Screening Modernization Act might make it worse. Or better, depending on your view. It would allow for continuous screening of drivers, not just at the hire date.
It's like having a scout watching your every practice, not just your highlight reel. If you have a wreck in your personal car, your fleet manager is going to see it in real time.
Well, I mean, transparency is good for safety, right? But for the driver, it feels like a 24/7 audit. It's hard to keep talent when they feel like they're under a microscope.
But complacency is the precursor to catastrophe. If we have the tech to keep dangerous drivers off the road, we have a moral obligation to use it, actually.
Just as long as the tech is accurate. But we've seen those revoked ELD lists. Carriers only have 11 days left to purge those devices before the FMCSA deadline. Now it's time for From the Sleeper Cab, our Thursday segment where we talk about the real-world grit and the tech that actually helps the man in the left-hand seat.
Let's hear it, Buck.
I've spent 3 million miles watching sensors get smarter while the trucks got dumber. I mean, nothing makes you want to quit faster than a 5 mph limp mode triggered by a $200 sensor while you're hauling 80,000 pounds. Well, the tide has finally turned. This week, Cummins and PACCAR rolled out software updates for over 1.5 million engines to fix the DEF derate nightmare.
So the EPA actually listened to the safety concerns? If I'm hearing you right?
They did, Elena. Administrator Zeldin pushed for this. Instead of the truck just giving up and crawling at walking speed on a highway shoulder, the new calibrations prioritize uptime. It respects the driver's schedule instead of just the sensor's feelings.
That sounds like a major win for driver retention, Buck. Nobody wants to be stranded because of a software glitch, right?
You're damn right. It's the end of the 5-mile-an-hour stranding. I mean, we still have to maintain the SCR systems, but at least the truck won't leave us hanging in the middle of a Wyoming blizzard anymore.
It's about damn time the engineering caught up to the operational reality. That's a championship-winning software patch right there.
Exactly. From the sleeper cab, that's a wrap.
All right, we have to talk about the semiconductor supercycle. Air cargo demand jumped 7% in June because we are flying server racks and GPUs across the Pacific like crazy.
Right. Global semiconductor sales doubled in April, the biggest jump since 1986. Air cargo spot rates are up 38% year over year.
It's because the time to market for AI infrastructure is too critical for sea transport, you see. Companies are paying $3.40 per kilo because they can't wait 30 days for a ship. Not with this competition.
Air cargo is becoming a tech utility. But here's the rub. While the tech is moving fast, the environment is hitting back. We're looking at a super El Nino for late 2026.
Right, and that's a systemic threat. Reduced water levels in the Panama Canal again? And storm activity messing with those high-value trans-Pacific air routes, too?
It's what experts are calling a polycrisis, actually. You have climate shocks, digital insurance fraud, and then there's Operation Hardball, that massive crime bust that just exposed how deep the syndicates are in trucking.
I heard about that. They found organized crime was basically running their own fleets just to facilitate cargo theft and smuggling. It makes the old padlocks look like toys.
It's a high-stakes game. Shippers are looking for resilience now, not just low cost. They need to know their cargo isn't going to get swallowed by a storm or a shell company.
Exactly. Reliability is the new currency. If you can't prove your supply chain is hardened against a super El Nino and AI-driven fraud, you're basically, leaving the door unlocked.
That's why the human relationships still matter, right? Behind every GPS dot is a person who has to navigate these storms and these scammers.
Freight moves on handshakes, folks, even if those handshakes are happening in an AI-powered control room. Bottom line, it's going to be a wild second half of the year.
Just gotta keep the shiny side up and the sensors honest. The road doesn't care about your AI agents if the bridge is washed out.
Actually, you're right, Buck. Physical risk will always be the final word. We can automate the billing, but we can't automate the physics of 80,000 pounds on black ice. That's all for today's High Road Logistics and Leadership. We've tracked everything from the $85 billion rail merger to the record-breaking semiconductor air cargo surge, reminding us that in this industry, precision and resilience are the only way forward.
Later.
See ya.
Peace out.
Don't forget to check those DEF sensors before you hit the road.